Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, our topic for Islamic marketing is the function of KPDNKK, MITI and MATRADE in production line. So, the presenter for today are Muhammad Shakir bin Abdul Hamid and I, Nur Aisha binti Muhammad Rizwan and Fatimah Siddiqui binti Hamidun and the last but not least, Nur Salsabila Ashikin binti Muhammad Shamshuri. Okay, then for background of KPDNKK in production line, the Minister for the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs is Yang Berhormat Datuk Alexander Nantalinggi. KPDNKK established on 27 October 1990. KPDNKK is the agency to protect consumer rights in the sale and purchase activity, and also to promote the development of a viable, competitive and sustainable domestic economy, especially in the distributive trade sector. And then Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak in March 2009, since 11 June 2009, KPDNKK were changed to KPDNHEP, which is known as the Ministry of Domestic Trade, Cooperative and Consumerism. The vision of KPDNKK is domestic trade as the backbone to a high-income economy. And then for the mission have three. Firstly, accelerate main domestic sectors that are available, competitive and sustainable. Secondly, domestic economy grounded by fair competition and innovation. So, KPDNKK will avoid unfair competition and innovation when doing the business. And thirdly, develop a trade ecosystem based on ethics and protection of consumer interests. And then for the ministry core value, they committed, cooperate, just, trustworthy when to preserve welfare of the consumer when doing sale and purchase.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Fatima, and now we move to the functions of KPDNHEP in production line. KPDNHEP plays an important role in the protecting rights of a business, and the importance of KPDNHEP can be seen from the fact that they are considered as to be mediator between consumer and trader. Generally, functions of KPDNHEP can be divided into two categories, which is domestic trade and consumerism. Functions of KPDNHEP in production line for domestic trade are firstly, KPDNHEP will be responsible in determines and monitor prices of essential goods. According to official website of KPDNHEP, price control goods are including cooking oil, generous purpose flour, white sugar, liquefied petroleum gas, and petroleum. Why the government have to control price on essential goods? This is because essential goods are including subsidy from the government, and this is one of the methods to ensure all citizens, especially for those who comes from low income or B40 groups, affect to purchase the essential goods, and at the same time to prevent from unethical sellers sell the essential goods with unreasonable prices. Secondly, KPDNHEP ensure price tag must place on each item or sample of the item displayed for sale. This is very important to prevent from unethical sellers put the different prices on different customers. There is no PMTP, especially for online seller in Facebook, which is they always say jika berminat sila PM without show the price on the product, and this is clearly break the Consumer Protection Act 1999. Then, KPDNHEP responsible to control and monitor the sellers and distributions of essential goods, petroleum and petrochemical product and direct selling trade. Hence, to ensure all the essential goods reach to the destinations, especially for those who live in rural areas Sabah and Sarawak, government had organized the program Penyeragaman Harga since 2009. Through this program, the government bear all the cost of transportation while sending the essential goods to the rural areas. The last one is KPDNKK strongly encourage good corporate governance practices among entrepreneurs. The entrepreneur should practicing healthy competition in business without intention to cheat the customer by providing misleading information or description on the product. The entrepreneur should provide the description on the product correctly and accurately to prevent from misunderstanding from the customer. Meanwhile, the entrepreneur can improve the quality of the product and compete in a healthy business. KPDNKK plays an ever more important role in the protecting rights of the consumer. Generally, consumers refer to all of us, which is who are involved in transaction of purchase almost every day. Without purchasing power from consumer, the transaction of purchase will not be happen. Hence, KPDNKK will responsible in carry out and enhance the program on consumer awareness and consumer protection. There are many activities organized by KPDNKK like forum, public talk, and school consumer club to enhance the awareness of consumer rights in purchase. This is because many consumers did not know what to do and who want to contact if they were cheated by unethical sellers. For example of the cases of scam, scratch and win, internet transaction fraud, and fraudulent services. There are many platforms provided by KPDNKK to receive complaints from the complainant, such as SMS, WhatsApp, telephone, easy adu KPDNKK, Tribunal for Consumer Complaint or Tribunal Tuntutan Pengguna Malaysia, or visit the PHEP office in person. However, it should be noted that not all the received complaints under KPDNKK jurisdiction to resolve. These channels are platform to respective agencies.
Issue-related production line in COVID-19 crisis. Recently, COVID-19 crisis-related issues have become the hot topic among the public, especially in case food supply product anti-spread of fake news. This evidence shows when the demand of the product stock have increased and have some people willing to linger for food such as sugar, cooking oil, rice, vegetable, and others. The result that case the public making the panic buying and to the point of justification among the community. However, the ministry also give information and advice to community to do not take panic buying because not only can give effect to themselves but also can give effect to our country. This is because worry have a certain party take opportunity in this case. This case approved by make a survey around the supermarket, which is have some people at certain area need queue at the supermarket early morning to get food stock. In this case also give effect to oil sale market, which is decreased because has many transportation reduced at the road. However, the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs also take initiative to monitor the premise, supermarket, and food factory to ensure educated food supplier, especially high demand products such as gardenia bread. So they monitor from scope quality of the product and follow the role of requirement. The Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs also provide ensure to the distribution of food free for student IPTA to reduce a burden. That's all. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Salsabila Ashikin binti Muhammad Syamsuri. I'm from IC 2204B. Now we will proceed to next slide, which is background of MITI. MITI, actually the work of MITI come from the Ministry of International Trade and Industry, which is managed in import and export, investment, industry, productivity, and also guide small and medium entrepreneurs to grow their business not only in local but to expand to another country, such as industry halal market. Therefore, MITI take initiative to provide, facilitate and platform for traders, especially in promoting and make improvement in import and export. Besides that, the real name of MITI based on past year as known as the Ministry of Commerce and Industry in February 1972. After that, MITI start form again in 27 October in 1919 after separate with Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs. So, right now, people who in charge in the Ministry of Management MITI, which is Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin Ali and another stakeholder such as Lim Bang Ho. Other than that, have another agency involved in MITI such as Malaysian External International Trade and Industry, which is MATRADE.
Okay, for the function of MITI in import and export in production line. Okay, the function of MITI in export in production line. Firstly, MITI were planning, formulating and implementing investment policy overseas development. So, MITI committed to promoting and implementing element competition in global trade between Malaysia and abroad. And then for the secondly, formulate and promote bilateral and multilateral relationship and regional trade cooperation, which is Malaysia have doing agreement before export the product from Malaysia to other country. And then thirdly, plan and promote the development of Malaysia export performance in the international market. So it can show to other countries that Malaysia have the talent to produce good quality of the product in production line. Okay, and then designing, coordinating and tracking the development of small and medium enterprise, which is MITI will helping entrepreneurs improve their products to export to the overseas. And then encourage them to develop the skill in business and exporting quality goods. And then MITI also develop and improve management, supervision and entrepreneurship skill generally for the private sector and especially for the native. Okay, so MITI give the entrepreneur spirit to gain any new challenge when they doing marketing to the product to the overseas. And then if the entrepreneur have the new challenge or problem, it can solve the problem or challenge professionally. And the last function of MITI in export is to ensure that the country get the most from the manufacturing institution. Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Shakir bin Abdul Hamid. We move to the next point, which is the function of MITI regarding to import in production lines. First function is setting up the policies to control the foreign goods and services. Actually, they have three main policies that stated in their principle, but one of them that related to import is managing measure to address impact of global economic slowdown on Malaysia's trade and industry. For example, intensify target investment promotion activities and stimulate and facilitate the investment. Second point is managing import trade documentation such as permits to identify imported goods. They have some documents that provided like approved permit, import duty and import license. Next is they make a cooperation with the Malaysian authorities to control the volume of import so as not to be dumped. Dumping means when too many goods are imported, it will be dumped if the quantity of entry is not controlled. It will affect the market and competitiveness of local manufacturers and entrepreneurs. So, MITI used the Akta Custom 1967 and Akta Anti Lambakan 1993 to avoid it. And lastly, is ensure that the value of the import trade is balanced with the market value and export trade in Malaysia. If the country does not want to suffer significant loss, the investment in import must be balanced with the result of import and cannot exceed much. So this is the MITI function to control it.
Issues related to meat in export. According to official website of MATRADE, there are top 10 major export products in 2019. However, export contribution from SME is still low, even the amount of SME is a big number. This is because lack of innovation and lack information of marketing in product. Hence, Malaysian government already encouraged to all entrepreneurs to register their product under MATRADE. Moreover, during pandemic COVID-19, palm oil estate in Sabah had to be stopped from operating as the movement control order issued by government. When the factory had to be stopped, the product could not be released as usually, and the workers will be unemployed. Consequent from the closure of factory, Malaysia are expected to lose 18 until 20% of crude palm oil monthly. Moreover, SME entrepreneurs who are involved in food export activity also are facing the possibility on bankrupts due to their business could not run, and at the same time they need to pay the rental of business and other equipment. Factories of electrical and electronic products also facing the problem, which is destination of major export including China, US, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Japan. Hence, pandemic COVID-19 had attacked the Malaysia economy seriously, and Malaysia is not the only one implement MCO, Movement Control Order, but all the countries around the world are locked down itself with intention to terminate the virus of COVID-19. Hence, this is a big challenge for Malaysian government to stabilize the economy after reduction of COVID-19. And the progress are not going well without cooperation given by all nations to stabilize our economy.
Okay, issue of MITI in import in production line. Okay, the issue is decreasing of import in Malaysia because COVID-19. Our country was shocked by the pandemic COVID-19 that happened at Wuhan wet market in China. Okay, so China was a major trading partner of Malaysia during Singapore, and the percentage dropped because China closed down manufacturing factories such as electrical and electronic component factories, which made it a major exporter of this material. And then for this have a significant impact on Malaysia import for this material, because Malaysia also closing the factory because of COVID-19 virus. Okay, for this example, capital good down RM 2.2 billion, negative 28.3% from RM 7.7 billion. And for the consumption good, for the beverage food drop of RM 1.4 billion, negative 22.3% from RM 6.5 billion. And then for the intermediate goods, which is the input we use to manufacture such wood, which is drop negative 1.2% from RM 38.8 billion. Okay, so Malaysia also doing high import activity with the US, Indian, Taiwan, Republic of Korea, and China. So the January and February the percentage import of the ASEAN country were dropped, which is 38.8 billion down 1.2%. Okay, so the ASEAN country that doing import with Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam, Indonesia, and Singapore. Okay. So the sources that I get from this issue from Department of Statistics Malaysia official portal February 2020.
MATRADE is a Malaysia External Trade Development Corporation. MATRADE is the National Trade Promotion Agency under the purview of MITI vision in positioning Malaysia as a globally competitive nation. MATRADE is very committed to work together with the industry player business to achieve the mission of MATRADE, which is in promoting Malaysia's enterprises to the world. Generally, MATRADE really want to help the entrepreneur, especially among SME, and to promote the product of Malaysia in international level. MATRADE really encourage among SME entrepreneur to register their product under MATRADE.
Now we will proceed to function of MATRADE. First and foremost, function of MATRADE is to promote and help in growing external trade of local product. Its main contribution for show off by using product catalog of Malaysia can make the product more familiar not only in local but also can expand to overseas. So, automatically, the supplier will be contacted directly in business relationship and also can grow in their business in global market. For example, among the top products have been exported to China such as business, food and drink product and also wood product. Furthermore, to maintain of Malaysia international trade abroad, also role of MATRADE. It is related, MATRADE has provided different consultant platform that can help in solve the problem among the trader. It is more concerned with give advice and dissemination new knowledge directly. Other than that, to protect the trader from obtaining the accurate information and utilize that prevent from spread and involve in fake information which is can damage the product and this company. In addition, the MATRADE function also provide exporter training program to enhance and awareness for new entrepreneurs to not only focus to trade their product, but try to change their mind to create new strategy marketing to extend their product to high level. The result is not only hoist the profile of their product, but also can raise the name of the Malaysia as a global business. For example, obtain export case and new product packaging. Then, preparation and management in national export marketing strategy, also one of the MATRADE function. It is related with inventory made by MATRADE in understand the export performance of the firm, which is to identify the research and skill that available to the product or company as the privilege. MATRADE also manage in participant of national trader in exhibition their product to introduce for external supplier. For example, overseas international trade fair show more local product and get positive impact which is get high demand from another supplier. Last but not least, function of MATRADE also to implement a market research and establish the comprehensive database information. It means database of information can help the trader in expand their business, especially in relationship between consumer and supplier, by using online trading such as Star Online and BizInfo.
Issues and challenges that faced by MATRADE. First is unstable economic and political change in the world. Therefore, they need to change their strategy accurately and must be alert with the circumstances. Second is unable to run programs as smooth as training for entrepreneurs due to the MCO period due to COVID-19. As we know, MATRADE is a platform to assist local exporters in terms of advice, finance, promotion, support, and more. So, when it comes to implementing MCO, most of these activities have to be postponed due to some constraint. Besides that, the profit from the country's export trade is declining, so MATRADE cannot do much to help entrepreneurs financially and it is limited. And because of that, it is difficult to market the Malaysian market internationally as many entrepreneurs bankrupt and close their business due to loss from the COVID-19 incident. So that's all from our group. Thank you for your listening.